Hi and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, the last video I did, I used, if you remember, if you've seen it, if not, it was hashtag 73. Okay, I tend to hashtag all my videos, but if I put like a haul or something like that I want to show you, just to say, oh, look what I've got or whatever, I never put a hashtag against it. But, you know, just for easiness to try and find things or whatever, the hashtag should help. Anyway, these are the ones that, if you remember, I don't want to harp on about it because if you watched the previous one, you'll know exactly what I'm chatting about. These are the metallic acrylics from Aldi. Very nice. £3.50. So, but anyway, I don't know if you remember, I sort of laughed and said I just had a go with using the acrylics, sort of no real plan with it, onto a piece of sort of A4. And anyway, then cut out a load of basic eggs. Okay, so I thought, do you know what, these were also the dies that I recently got on an eBay haul, which I've got lots of bits and pieces. You'll find that back on there, not that far back because it wasn't very long, but I like to, when I then get something, try it and see how it goes. So we're going to do yet another Eastery type card. Oops, didn't get the cardstock out. Hold on. So this cardstock I use, I tend to get from, well, it's not cardstock, it's actually already pre-made 6x6 cards and envelopes, but I absolutely love the surfaces it creates. So how I often, put things to do a card together, I'll sort of line it up and sort of plan it all a little bit first. Okay, me and my blue, I love it, there's no doubt about it. So I'm sort of thinking, right, how many would I put on here if I was having these as Easter eggies? That one just like that. Could have that one there. Whoops, I want to move that one there, that one there. This again is quite a quick little card, but it's just, how you can have a different effect. I don't know why I often do 1s, 3s, 5s, odd numbers for things, but that's just me. These, remember how many I then pulled out, and that one's a bit more textured, which is quite nice. It's a bigger one. You could, if you wanted to, I think one, oh yeah, my previous one was quite a big one just on the card with the Easter message. But this do exactly what you want. Then I thought, just to make it plain but simple, but I think effective, I thought, you know what, let's have a few, oh, no, fell out, ribbons. So I thought, I'm a little bit sort of blue to blue. These were some pre-made ones, so that could sort of fit quite nicely on there. I think I had more of a reddy, that's a sort of pinky, but I think you can get away with red on there, can't you? Maybe sort of that on there. And the green, you don't actually have green, so maybe we'll just have to maybe one of these. Oh, here we are, one of these nice little creamy ones on there. So can you see, you can sort of put them more together. You've got quite a lovely little card, and just pop the sentiment on there. So what I'm going to show you, because I do try and sort of show you a few tips and techniques too, so I'm going to move them to one side. Then as far as the sentiment today, I thought we have been having sort of like Happy Easter. Eggs are obviously all about new beginnings and things, so let's try this one, which is Celebrate New Beginnings. So I would sort of lay that there, knowing more or less where the rest of my things are going to go. Fingers crossed, if you've got a stamping platform, which I have, but if you're just putting, say, one word on there, the chances are it should line up quite nicely. So that should be fairly well. VersaFine is the ink that I absolutely love. No affiliations with any companies. So there we've got the Celebrate New Beginnings. Line up where you want it to go, because it's hard to do this over with the camera, but anyway, there we go. Hasn't took ever so well, but fingers crossed, because I think I nearly always do my cards like this because it's still damp. You can then emboss straight away. So all that is clear embossing powder. This is where, if you were then using a stamping platform, if it didn't catch quite right, you literally could sort of try again, okay? Fingers crossed. I might just pop that back in there, because while it's still wet, it'll sort of stick to it again. That might just sort of reinforce it. You ease a little bit. See, it's not too bad now. Because that's just missed on that E just a little bit. I could try and pop that back on it, which it might. We could risk it. But what I'd be tempted to do, I think, is with a tiny little fine tip. I'm just trying to think if I've got a fine tip. There's probably not that. Oh, that's not very fine, is it? I'd be tempted to try and use with a fine tip. Just like that, because that's now potentially wet. That might still just be wet enough to there we go. I know and you know, but that has then popped that in. Okay, so basically just a nice little celebrate new beginnings. I say you could have scrapped that and thought, oh no, good, I have to do something again, but that's sort of covered up a little bit of mistake, because I do these in real times, and if I'm doing lots of bits and pieces, I try and do it in stages so you can sort of see how it works in bits and pieces. So now, so we've already got that. I tend to quite like to have whatever my sentiment is often stamped on the card straight away. I tend to like to do it first of all, because you know your cards sometimes then, if you're then sort of got all sort of things stuck on it, to then put your sentiment on there, it makes it a bit more awkward. So I tend to like to do it first. Anyway, back to these. What I would do now is my little got my little stickies. I have got some of these strips. I might even put a few bits on there, because you just don't want them to come off, do you? So I think I got these off Amazon. Pretty good. So they're like long strips of double-sided tape. So what I'm going to do is pop a bit on there. My sticky scissors are so sticky. And a bit on there. So with a bit of luck, it will stick enough, because there's nothing worse, is there, somebody, you know, who has the recipient gets the card and you know, a bow falls off or something. Makes us look as if we're sort of poor workmanship, doesn't it? So because it's double-sided, peel the other piece off. Like I said, I was going to do a totally different card. Then I thought, do you know what? Sometimes I like to sort of tidy up a lot of the things that I'm doing and make a few more cards. And I thought, well, actually, let me show you. You see, if you wanted to, honestly, I often think less is more. That would be enough, wouldn't it, if you wanted? But I'm putting a little bit more on here today, which is quite unusual for me, because I don't like loads of things on a card. So let's just stick that on there. We've already pulled the tag off there, and let's just put maybe sort of there on that one, and that's held down lovely. And now we just need a tiny little bit on here. Maybe and me keep my other little bits. Don't like to be potentially it doesn't show through, so I'll snip that bit off. Can't keep that, it's too small, I think. Nip it down so it stick as much, you know, your warm hands will make it stick lovely. And let's pop one on there. So I'd be tempted to stick that one straight down rather than raise too much. Now you can either do it with glue. I have got one of these. You can buy these little tiny ones, but this is quite good. Had it a few years now, which is basically popping on lots of, I don't know how well you can see, lots of bits of glue. So let's position that exactly where that's going. Like I say, if you wanted to, you know, I think this acrylic paint is lovely. You might see more things I do with that. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave it just like that. But I am actually popping a bit more on here today. You see, I think I might have that one there. And let's keep... What's happened there? Again, hold it down nicely. So they're both very flush to the card. Yeah. And this just, maybe that one there, quite lovely. Let's pop that up a little bit. Let's put... Since I've been doing my videos, this is the first one I've not even run out of yet, so it goes a long way. There you go. How well can you see that? That metallic is beautiful. If you didn't happen to watch my previous video, just click on there because you'll see how I did it, because I literally just put a load of that acrylic paint with brushes and like the little makeup sponges, and sort of dabbed one colour and then spread a bit more on. And I did think it seriously looked like a car crash, and I thought, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But actually, I really like the effect. And sometimes it is, isn't it, looking beyond how it looks in front of you at the time when you're sort of cutting bits and pieces out. Anyway, till the next time, if you are enjoying my videos, leave me a little comment. Also, hit that subscribe button, and then potentially you won't miss any. Thanks for joining me. Thank you.